Hola, it's Avi, aka Octavia Steen, natural fertility doula, health coach, and creator of the faith-based business Mother Mindset. Welcome to the Fertile Faith Podcast, a podcast that helps women of God who are trying to get pregnant naturally to overcome negative thoughts and balance her hormones so she no longer has to be overwhelmed and consumed by her TTC journey. I'm so glad that you're here, sis. I can't wait to dive into this episode. In today's episode, I just want to give you a little backstory on my fertility journey, how I became a fertility coach, and how I incorporate my faith with my TTC journeys. I actually am currently 30 weeks pregnant, starting this podcast with my third child. And no, we have not revealed what the gender is yet. You guys will see that. You'll see that on the birth vlog on my YouTube channel if you're subscribed. But I wanted to get into just a little background of what I went through in my journey. For me, I was feeling discouraged. I was feeling overwhelmed in my TTC journey. It had been, it had been actually like a few months into my TTC journey. And then I was like, it kind of clicked like, okay, why aren't we pregnant yet? Lord, like what's going on? And it triggered me to dive deeper. I'm a researcher, y'all. If you're a researcher, let me know. I love to research, I love to learn. And so I just started to dive into the world of TTC. And it opened me up to this huge community of women who just help each other grow in their journeys and help each other, find their way through their TTC journey. But I saw a missing piece in that, and that piece was the faith. That piece was God, y'all. That piece, PIECEPEACE was God, okay? And so, I was taking multiple pregnancy tests, right? And I always had, they always ended in a negative for about a year. For 11 months, I never saw a positive pregnancy test. And then I had a miscarriage. So in 2018, I had two back-to-back miscarriages with one lasting 45 days. 45 days, y'all. I shared that entire experience on YouTube while doing Bible studies during that time. And I even look back at it now and I'm like, ooh, that was only God. That was God who got me through that. But I wanted to become a mother so bad. And I just remembered the days as a child where I'd even dream of the moments. But because of my hormonal imbalances and the overwhelming feeling of not knowing when it was going to happen, not knowing and being consumed by my TTC journey and not giving it over to God, I wasn't really able to have a successful pregnancy. And so I went through my miscarriage. And during that time, I began to lean into my quiet time with the Lord. On that second miscarriage, that was 45 days, I just began to lean into my quiet time and listen for his voice. That was the game changer. Through daily devotion and prayer, he guided me to figure out the solution to my problem, right? I was not fueling my body with his word, what he spoke over me, but I also wasn't filling my body with the right foods, which were causing irregularities in my cycle, right? I was having these 28-day cycles, right? What I thought, right, it was optimal cycle, what I thought was the perfect cycle. But in essence, as I took a deeper look, my cycles were actually very irregular, and so at first, I tried to get pregnant just by using OPKs and hoping for the best. But the problem was I was ovulating, but my fertility and body wasn't optimal to conceive and keep the baby, right? In order to keep that sticky bean, right? I was ovulating, but I was relying on my app to tell me when, you go to your app and you see, oh, you're in the fertile window and you have a 86% chance of getting pregnant. That's what the app will tell you. But the app can't tell you about your body. And I slowly discovered that just by, experiencing the Lord and what he was speaking to me over that, during that time. And so after that didn't work, I had my first chemical pregnancy. And at the same time, I learned that my teenage cousin had actually committed suicide. So I fell into a slump. I was grieving two family members, right? The one in my womb, and then my cousin. And I fell off track with God during that time and wasn't giving my faith journey any attention, or at least the attention that it needed. Finally, I realized with the help of God, I needed to balance my hormones by healing my gut issues, changing my lifestyle habits, and growing my relationship with the Lord so that He could show me the step by step, of what my life would start to look like. When I started to change my lifestyle from the inside out, I was able to conceive my rainbow baby. And she just turned 3, y'all. Whew, I can't believe that was 3 years ago. And I mean, now I want to show you how to do the exact same thing. That's why I created my business, Mother Mindset, to empower women of God who are trying to get pregnant naturally, to overcome those negative thoughts and balance her hormones so she no longer has to deal with the overwhelm and being consumed by her TTC journey, right? So that's why we're here on this podcast, the Fertile Faith Podcast. And y'all, I really, really hope, my hope and desire is for this podcast is to give glory to God, of course, but also to help you and be encouraged, help encourage you through this TTC journey, through your fertility journey, so that you can grow closer to God, so that He can give you the steps that you need to individually take for your own journeys. But also just to help my community, because I love you all out there, all of my subscribers on YouTube, my email list. If you're not on the email list, go jump on the email list, grab my fertility prayer guide. I'll link that in the show notes. But I'm so excited to do this podcast. One, because it means that, I get to connect with you all in a different way. But two, I'm hoping to reach more women of God, to help them get pregnant, right? I have been doing this for a few years now, in helping women get pregnant, helping women increase their faith and do the things that they need to do to grow closer to God. And so I'm just excited. So thank you so much for listening to my story. And I can't wait to help you balance your hormones and deepen your faith so that you can get pregnant without the overwhelm. Blessings and baby dust.